Welcome to Forest Chat, where we talk about individual endeavour in Western Australia, what it takes, what it means, and how you do it. I'm your host, Paul Vandermeer, and in today's episode, we'll be talking with Heath Bennett about volunteering at multiple motorsport events. Heath started competing and volunteering at motorsport events back in 1998 and did a stint of competition and volunteering until about 2004, then had a break, returning to volunteering at multiple motorsport events from about 2021. Welcome to Forest Chat, Heath.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Great to have you here, and looking forward to hearing about your world of volunteering. Heath, what on earth do you do for volunteering at motorsport events?
Paul, I like to volunteer at all sorts of motorsport events. Primarily, we like to volunteer at grassroots motorsport. I believe grassroots is the building blocks for motorsport. We like to go and help out where juniors can progress in their motorsport careers and newcomers can try motorsport. We're under sort of low pressure and relatively low cost. So currently we volunteer at autocross with the South West Touring Car Club and at Motorcana for the Mini Car Club. And also we'd either do rallies as well when time allows, yeah.
How did it come about that you wanted to encourage juniors and starters?
I as you said before, Paul, I started in 1998 myself, just competing and obviously volunteering with the South West Touring Car Club. Obviously, as being a smaller club, a lot of the members have to pitch in and do volunteering to make the club work. At that time, we started to see a few juniors come along, and some of the juniors didn't know sort of where to start or how to get involved, how to prepare their cars or what to do. So by volunteering at these various motorsport events, not only do you help the event progress, but you can give advice to juniors and newcomers as to how they can progress and see if they like the event they're trying. Before they spend a lot of money on, cars and equipment, they can try it before they buy, as you say. So, yeah.
And what sort of roles do you volunteer in?
Currently, I am a flag marshal for the State Autocross Series down at Bunbury. The State Autocross Series is in the South West Touring Car Club's autocross circuit next to Bunbury Speedway. Get a lot of competitors, up to 80 sometimes, and my role is a flag marshal. Part of the course can't be seen by all the officials, and so therefore my job is to make sure that if a car has an incident that may cause the other car to come along and cause an incident, I can slow the car down or stop the racing, just to make sure we don't have any safety events. I also volunteer for the Mini Car Club in the State Motorcana Series as a timer. Obviously, Motorcana timing is very important, down to the 10th of a second more. So we use the computerised system just to make sure that the system's working and the timer starts, and we do that as well. And also, when I get another free weekend, we do some rallies as well, either time control, start controls, or sometimes, road closures.
We're throwing around these autocross and Motorcana terms. What's the difference?
These are known as grassroots or speed events. Motorcana is a non-speed event. So Motorcana is, you may have seen these events in car parks, shopping centres occasionally, where there's a series of what they call tests. The tests are defined by a number of markers, not really cones, just sort of upright markers. And there's a timed run around the markers. At the end of the day, the competitor with the shortest time wins the event. Autocross is different. Autocross is two cars competing side by side on a looped circuit. And again, the circuit is fixed, so it doesn't change like Motorcana. And again, fastest time wins. The cars get 4 runs each during the day, and basically the fastest time wins overall during the day. And this is on gravel as opposed to Motorcana, which is on tarmac.
Okay, so there's some pretty clear differences between the events. Sounds like in a Motorcana, you're going to be competing for something under a minute?
That's right. Some of the tests can be really quick. Some of them can be like 20 seconds, up to sort of about a minute, depending on the size. Autocross is around about between a minute 15 and a minute 30, depending on the time of the competitor.
Yeah, I hear someone did first run out at it would be the second last autocross and set a burster of a time and just under the 1:14 mark or something.
That's
like
right.
that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, depends on the time. It depends on the conditions. Obviously, the weather can have a big effect. If it's raining or dusty or dry. I suppose that's the difference between the two events as well. Motorcana, fairly standard on tarmac, but autocross can be influenced by the weather. But it's fantastic to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I interviewed Stefan, who takes quite a lot of the photos at Southwest Touring Car Autocross, He does some great work there, and you can really see the excitement on the course, particularly in the attitude of the cars.
Yeah. What we found recently, Paul, is a lot more involvement by juniors and newcomers. So juniors come along. Sometimes they come along with mum or dad or brother or sister and want to have a go. And there's age limits. And once they get to the right age, they can compete. And once they get into it, they really love it. But it's also sort of very similar to what others might know as Carnacross. Obviously, Carnacross, which is run by the Light Car Club. We've done a bit of volunteering with those as well as a single fixed car. So this is a bit of a combination between the two disciplines, yeah.
Heath, what does it take you to be a volunteer at these multiple different events?
First thing you got to have, Paul, is a good calendar. Obviously, between about February and November, the WA Motorsport calendar is, quite full. You've just got to make sure that the events are in don't overlap. Most of the time, they're fairly okay, but the calendar does get quite busy, especially towards the end of the year. Depends on the day. Mostly their events are on a Sunday, which does allow things to be done on a Saturday beforehand preparation. But yeah, you've got to make sure your calendar's lined up with your own personal calendar as well. Obviously, everyone's got a personal life and things to do, and partners and families. So, but yeah, you get yourself organised, work out what events you'd like to go to. Sometimes you might just want to go and have a look at one and go and speak to the organisers. Do they need volunteers? What's involved in being a volunteer? Most people will say, please, yes, please, come along. We need you desperately. And that's a good thing to do. But yeah, have a look. You can come along anytime just to watch. The events are free. So see if you're interested in volunteering. If you like to, talk to the event, talk to the competitors as well about what's involved. And yeah, be organised. It basically, most of the time you allow the day. So the events tend to start fairly early. You sort of get to the track about 8 to 9 o'clock to set up and go to about 3 o'clock. So it's not all day, but it is a fairly large part of the day.
So it takes a little bit of time. And do you have to travel for them as well?
You do. You have to travel. We're from Perth. We travel to Bunbury for the 6 rounds of the autocross, and that's no problem. Obviously, traffic transport's good. The Motorcarna series mainly occurs in Perth, except for one event in Albany at the Round the Houses event. But you do need to travel, but we find the travelling is not onerous. So yeah.
Perth to Bunbury, and you can do that in a day and do the competition and be back home in time for dinner, just.
Exactly right, yeah.
Unless you get caught up in conversations at the end of the day, I guess.
That's always tricky, Paul. That's right, yeah.
And then if you want to do Albany, that's probably an overnighter, or you mentioned that's on a weekend where there's a longer competition too. So
yeah, normally it's part of the Albany Round the Houses event. So normally the club makes an event of it. Spend a couple of nights there, have dinner, etc. So it's well organised, very good social event as well. So
yeah, there's much more. So there's quite a bit that you can get out of it. Now, Heath, you must need to know something about the rules and regulations of the events to do what you do.
Generally, you do. If you haven't done the event before, it's not crucial to have competed before. Normally, when you're a new volunteer, the club will put you with an experienced volunteer to show you the ropes, to show you little things that you need to know. It does help, though, to understand the rules, the basic rules. As a timer, we're basically not interpreting the rules. There are other positions that do that. So it depends what position you are. And as a volunteer, you tend to work your way through the positions. So you're not going to be clerk of course from day one. Obviously, you start at different positions and work your way through. And as you go to different events, you pick up actually very quickly what the rules are. And again, all the volunteers and the club officials can teach you the rules and regulations about each type of event. So you can learn and pick it up pretty quickly.
And the rules, when you read them, they probably sound a bit confusing, but when you see them happening on the ground, they're not too bad, are they?
No, they're not. And basically, it depends what position you're in. But if you're looking for little things, you're not looking to cover the whole event as well. You're looking for your certain part of the event. Like as a flag marshal, you're just looking for your flagged area of the course. As a timer, you're just looking at your timed area. So you're not expected to do everything across the day. But as you go through the day, you learn quickly. And again, not like everything, the more you do it, the quicker you pick it up and the more confident you feel, yeah.
What about stuff like licensing?
As an official, you can become a licensed official. And it's good to do that through Motorsport Australia. You can do the online courses, which set you up for various levels of officialdom, and encourage people to do those courses. They're very straightforward. They're very simple to do online. They give you lots of basic information that you need, and you can pick them up online all the time. So that's an important thing to do. And when you go to it, you must ensure that you sign on as an official as well. That covers you under Motorsport Australia for any issues that happen during the day.
And you mentioned about different clubs running different events. So, getting in touch with the organisers, it's pretty straightforward. They're usually quite eager to hear from you, aren't they?
If you're on Facebook at some of the various car clubs, you'll see people calling for officials all through the year. As obviously closer to the event, more calls come out. But if you are interested, look at the calendar of events at the start of the year, and just contact the organiser, contact the Clark course, and ask them if they need. And as you say, very rare that you'll get turned down. There's always people looking for events. Sometimes during the year there are multiple events on the same day. So if you want to be involved in one of these events, ask the club, ask the organiser, and they'll be appreciative of your time coming along. Yeah.
What if you couldn't get around an event site or something like that? Is there anything that someone might need in that space?
Basically, all the courses are accessible. Obviously, the motor car and circuits are on tarmac areas, so they're generally easy to get to. If you think there's some issues with getting to an event, you can call the event organiser, and you'll find there's lots of people going to these events. So if you need maybe a lift to an event or a bit of access, there's generally always people who can help you out, especially because you're a volunteer. And the clubs are organising, always looking to help their volunteers. So that's a good thing. If you're new to motorsport and you want to get involved in motorsport, this is probably the best way to do it. You haven't got to be jumping straight into competition. Go along to an event, watch an event, volunteer. Because when you volunteer, you understand how the events work more. So if you then go to be a competitor, you actually have that experience and knowledge from being an official. And a lot of competitors do both, which is appreciated. So come along, just try it and see how you go.
So there's quite an easy step in if you wanted to become a motorsport volunteer at all sorts of different events. And we've been talking with Heath now about more grassroots level motorsport. We'll have a bit of a break now, and after the break, we'll have a look at what it means. So we've had a look at what it takes. Now, let's have a look at what it means to volunteer at multiple motorsport events. Heath, what does it mean to you, your family, or the community that you are able to volunteer at multiple motorsport events?
Thanks, Paul. I think for us, having spent time as a competitor and seeing what it takes, volunteers to do to set up for the day, this is our time to give back to the motorsport community. I say did the competing. I love the competing. A lot of the events we did took a lot of volunteers, especially at rallies, a lot of volunteers, a lot of time, a lot of preparation. And having done that and appreciated the time that the volunteers put in, now to us, it's giving back. And especially giving back, as I said to you before, in the grassroots area, to encourage juniors to come along and try in a safe environment, and to encourage newcomers to give motorsport a go. That's what it means to us. It's very important to give back.
Yes, that two-way street element of life comes up in all sorts of different areas, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So it's a lot of time invested by volunteers in the event to make the event happen. Without the volunteers, simply the events won't happen. That's people need to understand that. So volunteering is very important for these events, and where we can give back, it's great to do it.
With what it means, we often look at what is the purpose of doing what we're doing. What is it about motorsport in particular that makes a difference to you?
Motorsport for us is something that we've been through in a long time, and along the way in motorsport we've built up great friendships. We have some really brilliant friends who've been along in motorsport for many years now, and so not only seeing our friends and volunteering with the club members, but introducing ourselves to new members and building new friendships. That's what you sort of get by volunteering, because people see you out there doing your work, and it's great to meet new people who have the same passion. And we get to meet new people all the time, which is fantastic.
Absolutely. And you get all sorts of new ideas and perspectives, and you also get some reinforcement of the things that you've joined together to do, which is great.
That's right. I say normally in the car clubs, we have obviously some of the smaller clubs, we need lots of volunteers. And over time you meet volunteers, you learn various skills and experiences. I remember when we were in the South Australian Car Club early on, we at the old Benja circuit, you may remember the Benja circuit near Brunswick there, we would prepare the track on the Saturday, we would do the event on the Sunday, but then afterwards we'd do things like building a new canteen. So we all went along there, various skills, various experiences. We built the canteen, it improved the circuit for the competitors, And it was a great time amongst and really good fun bonding doing these things as well together.
Yeah, that shared effort doing that thing and seeing it come to fruition as well. That's amazing.
It is always good to see when you do things together. It's fantastic.
What's your perspective on how motorsport is valuable to the community?
I think for us, it's all about juniors. Obviously, motorsport is a place where, at grassroots motorsport, you can teach juniors to drive in a more controlled environment. So when they do come to the road, they know how to handle a car. That's very, very important to us to make sure that they're safe. But also, it's the way that the families can bond. As I said to you, we see sometimes 3 generations at these motorsport events, and it's fantastic to see mums and dads, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters doing the motorsport together and learning off each other, having a good laugh, being there together in something they all share a passion for. We had a young guy, I think it was at the Carnacross, and by coming to motorsport, he was encouraged by all the other members to try it, and he enjoyed it. So which will work how we sort of get that in there. But yeah, it's good to see people coming around and helping people out as well. A lot of the people who they met for the first time. So just that's an interesting point, yeah.
So he benefited from coming down because he had people around him that were, I'll say, helping him and guiding him in some way?
And mentoring, yeah. They came along and tried it, and everyone got around them, helped them out, how to drive the car, which tyres to use, etc. So there's a lot of mentoring, which I think everyone benefited from, yeah.
Excellent. So that was a great experience for him.
Yeah, I think so. And also good for the mentors as well, to give back. So again, like giving back as well. So it's very important.
Absolutely. So there's some very clear and important meanings that come out from volunteering at various motorsport events. Let's have a bit of a break now. And after the break, we'll have a look at how you do it. So we've had a look at what it means to volunteer at multiple motorsport events. Heath, how do you get to the point where you can volunteer at motorsport events?
It's really quite simple, Paul. Just contact the clubs, ask them if they need volunteers. As you say, Facebook is always a good place to look. A lot of the clubs will be putting on there on the internet as well. The thing is to go along, offer your services. The club will ask you to come along, show you the ropes, show you what to do. They won't throw you in the deep end for sure. So they'll give you all the training you need, all the assistance. And if that's something you want to pursue, they'll gladly ask you to come along to the next event and the next event. And again, the more you do these things, the more confidence you get, and more confidence in your own abilities. You meet all the different people. You learn from these people. Some of these people have been doing motorsport, for sort of 50 years. So there's a wealth of experience out there, and things all just to learn from the other volunteers.
And every time you go out there, you learn something new, don't you? And there's a whole different range of skills that you can pick up along the way.
A lot of the skills you learn about, like organisational skills, just having confidence in yourself to try things and do things differently. So you not only benefit from doing the motorsport, but you benefit in your life as well, because you learn new things that you can apply to all parts of your life. Yeah.
As you do, you go along and you do flag marshalling at one type of event as a regular thing, and at another event you're actually doing timing. And I gather that feeds into results. Is the results an automatic system?
Mostly automated now, but it's always good to have that human part there, just in case technology, fails, because it can, cause you some problems. But yeah, I think probably one of the people I'd like to talk about is Beth Hasty. Beth, people don't know Beth Hasty, mate know Beth. She's been volunteering motorsport for as long as I've known, and before that, I think she's just recently been in Bathurst, doing very high level volunteering, officialing, duties. So it can show that you can start off at a very low, a grassroots event, and eventually you could be at Bathurst or a Grand Prix. So volunteering can take you a long way in motorsport. That's your passion. Yeah.
It sure can. Beth has been doing a road trip. She went across to Bathurst, and I think she was looking after the Porsches over there. So
that's, not bad, eh? Yeah, it sort of shows you can go. You can just do local events. You can do national events. You can do ultimately international events if that's what you want to do. But start off, try it, and you can see how far you can go. Yeah, it's great.
Well, thank you very much, Heath, for being on Forest.chat. And from all the Forest.chat listeners, we wish you all the best with your future endeavours.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having us on the program, and I hope to see people out there come along and volunteer. Might see you out there in the field.
Absolutely. I think the autocross season is on to next year now.
Yep, this most of the events are finished. We've got the state national Motorcana this month, and then basically everything comes back to next year.
You'll be there, no doubt. Whereabouts is that being held?
I mean, it's at Wanneroo National Motorcana. Yeah, looking forward to that. Look on Facebook for the times.
Thank you very much, Heath.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You've been listening to Forest.chat, where we talk about individual endeavour in Western Australia, what it takes, what it means, and how you do it. I'm your host, Paul Vandermeer, and in today's episode, we talked with Heath Bennett about volunteering at multiple motorsport events. Remember, there are 4 ways you can get involved with Forest.chat. Share the domain Forest.chat with your friends and family and people you meet. Listen to the published episodes at forest.chat/episodes. Book an interview at forest.chat/interview. Book an advert at forest.chat/advert. I'm looking forward to joining you with our next interview. Until next time, enjoy making it happen.